back to the Sisters Corner.
Oh my God, we're both wearing black today.
This was not planned.
Yeah, this was so not planned.
It was not planned. We're bringing to you Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 15, titled Retreat Ready.
Yeah, tired. That's what I said. I actually, when I watched it, it didn't have any title, so I just named it because I do like a little note, and I just named I named it tired. I was like, I'm tired. They look just as tired as probably we feel, and I was like, well, and
I feel like they're all just in it to fulfill their lifetime contract so that they can get paid. Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Yeah, everyone at some point in this episode was like, so decision day is 7 days away, and what are you thinking? I was like, guys, we all know what y'all are thinking. Some of you are actors, some of you would just go back to your day job, and some of you are gonna keep faking it, some of you are in delusion land. But let's get on with the episode. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so quick summary of this episode. It's 9 days until decision day. Our couples go on a retreat to help them connect and help them for decision day. So let's get into it with Jake and Hayley.
Jake and Hayley.
At this point, Jake is over it. Jake is over Hayley.
The check is not even enough to keep Jake lying about this.
Do you know what?
I'm done.
I am just so happy with Jake's behavior in this episode because he was like, I can't be bothered.
He ate 8 eggs though. 8 eggs, Alero.
But look at him, he's a muscly man.
The fart.
But if you know
the fart. I was like,
but if you notice,
we could not sleep in the same room. You ate. That's why 8 eggs. He was like, I'm just gonna fart all the way. He could probably sing a whole song with those fart when he ate eggs.
But if you notice, there was no carbs. It was just eggs that he was eating.
I don't know. Even if I'm just eating eggs, 8 eggs though.
I don't know. He's a bodybuilder.
How do people eat?
I don't know. So
I was blown. So I had to rewind. Sorry guys, I was stuck on that for a while. Yeah. I had to rewind. I couldn't believe it.
So in this episode, Hayley gives him his bracelet back. Yay! She literally chucked it. She was like, there you go. I would never have worn it anyways. I'm just like, girl.
I'm like, just right from the episode before, I'm so mad at her. I'm so irritated with her presence on the screen. She really pisses me off. She has no sense of accountability. She has no emotional intelligence. She's not self-reflective. It's very annoying. It's like, you still don't get it. For me, you don't get it. And it's so... Yeah, I can't.
When somebody constantly feels like they're the victim and can't see how they're treating others.
Even throughout the retreat, when they went for the retreat, she goes, I've been trying. I've been
throwing olive branch.
I'm like, trying. You are doing nothing. You're delusional. You do absolutely zilch. Stop it.
She gave him the bracelet back. On the way to the retreat, they both drove separately. It was a 5-hour
My point was like, why are you guys going to a couples retreat? You're not a couple at this point.
Every episode they reset. So
they didn't even reset this episode though. They didn't even reset. Like, just don't go then. You're annoying me.
No, they need to get that.
I know. But apart from that,
I know what you mean. Because their relationship is just being... They won't even be friends at the end of this, to be honest.
No, she's just a sprite, bruh.
So the egg incident, Jacob gets to the villa or the apartment before everybody else, and he was waiting, and he was there for 45 minutes, so he therefore went ahead and fried 8 eggs. And just as it was eating, Hayley comes in with her stank face. I feel like
she just doesn't understand that, mate. She has a natural.
She has an RBF face. She has a resting bitch face. I'm sorry.
That's what you are. You are.
She comes in, and then her first reaction is, you know the way she does.
Smug. Yeah, she was like a brat to me.
She was like, oh, why are you eating eggs? I told everybody that I'm gonna cook. And he was like, but I messaged you.
And you didn't reply. And I was like, oh, I was replying. And it was like, you didn't reply my last message. And she opened it, she was like, well, I was parking then. So leave me alone.
The guy was there for 45 minutes.
You were not
5 hours trip.
You were not parking in 45 minutes.
It's like she always finds something
she has to excuse for everything.
Yeah, she always finds something to... It's just like,
nitpick.
I'm surprised she hasn't complained that this guy is breathing.
Yeah,
with the way she picks Jacob apart.
Probably to give it long enough, she would say he breathes wrongly, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jake don't want your food. He just want to eat his egg and play a little kiki kaka with people and go to bed.
So did you see at the dinner table when the other couples came and they sat down for dinner, did you see how far apart both of them sat?
But what also pissed me off was the fact that so when they're in a group setting, she does this thing where she's like, she quickly goes and tells stories to people so that she can isolate him. She does that, and that was pissing me off. Because when y'all came, you did not need to go and start. This was not a tale. Nobody needed to go start telling. That's not what it is. So she was like, oh, he came here so early, and you imagine he's had 8 eggs, and you know, she literally like was laying a claim and like making a whole hoo-ha about what happened. And I felt like what you're trying to do is like get everyone to be on your side and understand your story and then isolate him, which I will get into even further later on. But
so when they sat down that's a very good point. You're right, she does that a lot. They sat down for dinner, and you know, they were now having, all the couples were now having like the discussion of what did you learn.
Jacob was
like, I've learned nothing. Holistically, he was like, I've learned nothing.
This is a long bad day. First day.
This has been a long first bad day. And you know, Hayley was not happy. She was like, how can you say that you've not learned anything?
And then she was like, I've learned this. Girl, you've still learned nothing.
She's learned nothing.
She said
superficial, surface, peripheral things.
Rubbish.
She was saying, I've learned how to, what did she say?
I can't remember because
I've learned personal growth. I said, girl, you haven't learned personal growth, because based on last week when you told us that at 4 years old you've never done anything you didn't want to do, you're stuck in your ways. That's the signs we're seeing now. So girl, you haven't learned any personal growth. And I just love the fact that Jacob is firm in his ways and firm in his belief. So she tried to railroad him.
She said, oh, but how can you say that? Brianna said, that man said what he said, and he meant what he said. That's Jacob, he said what
Jacob wanted to really say was that this was a mistake.
That's
what he wanted to say.
That's what he said, Alero.
That's what he said.
He just framed it differently. He basically said this is a long day that is very bad.
You know what's so ironic? So they played this couple's game. Basically, how well do you know your spouse? And ironically,
they won.
Jacob and Hayley won
the game.
Ironically,
but then I think Jacob explained, which made sense. It was like we've just been asking each other questions and answers. So I guess it's been a long interview. So now we do know each other, right? But we just don't.
But then what I also find interesting is they had to do this exercise of writing letters to their spouse, right?
It was cute. It was
and both of them had pleasant things to say about each other. And do you know what was so interesting for me was like what Hayley wrote in her letter. I was like, Hayley, you just described a good husband. You just literally described a good man, because she said things like he goes out of his way for me. He's kind. He's this. He's that. And I'm just like, it's such a shame.
One thing I noted is that, and I can relate to this as well, is that we as humans, we self-sabotage. We self-sabotage a lot. God, that word would not come out. We do that a lot, and that's what I see in Aley and Jake. I think the thing is, I definitely know that sometimes when you don't feel that connection immediately, sometimes it can just be like a downward slope. And that's what happened to them.
It's such a shame because, like you said, they had the potential
to
be a really good couple.
May, after that letter, after the letter, I was just like, girl, just give him coochie one more time. You already give him the coochie. Like, you look like a puppy.
On cloud 9, but I feel like Jake has finally come to the realization that no matter what I do, because the next day he bounced. He didn't even say bye to anyone. He left super early, and we all know that Hayley was salty about it. So Eric and Virginia, the joke of this episode for me was when Eric said, "I don't do ultimatums." You didn't hear that?
I did. Everyone on the table was like, because obviously the story already went around that you're Mr. Ultimatum. I think I had that down too. Everyone was like,
that's the joke of the day.
Good. You are crazy.
So they went en route to the retreat, actually. Eric was talking about how Virginia's always showing him up in front of the cameras. And Virginia was like, who do you think will argue? Like, how do you think this trip will be? And he was like, well, from my side, I'm not going to argue because I never argue.
I just hate that.
I never argue.
Yeah, with the hand action. And I hate that personality of him always saying, I'm good. Yeah. The problem is always you. I'm good. The problem is always you.
I agree.
Even at the table, it was like, when they were talking about each other as a couple, you know, the old question, it was like, I'm always patient with this one. I'm like, dude, who is
Eric with a K?
Yeah, I'm Eric with a K.
Eric with a K.
I spend it with a C all the time.
So one of the questions was like, what person is always offended or
when they spell their name wrong?
And he was like, I'm Eric with a K. So Eric with a K.
But yeah, I
you know what? I completely agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
My only thing is, in this episode, I'm just gonna have to side with Eric slightly because they were talking about moving in. So was it Ryan or Brianna was bringing up the conversation of post-decision day, what are your plans? Are you guys gonna move in together? Blah, 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 blah. And all the couples were sharing their plans. And then Virginia was like, well, I'm gonna go back to my condo and he's gonna put his apartment up for lease. And then he was like, well, it takes time to sell your apartment and blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, well, that's why you need to start now.
She said what she said.
She said what she said. And then he was like, it makes no sense because I own my property. And then she was like, but I feel like your house is not pet friendly. And I have all my pets and my cats. And this is now the bit
because even up until then, I was with her. I was like,
this is the bit she lost me.
We can have a conversation about moving into a new place. That's fine.
That's fine, yeah. This is the bit she lost me. So she was just like, my cats sleep with me. They're all up in my crevices. I was like, what do you mean your cats are all up in your crevices?
But it's not even just the crevices. It's the fact that
Eric is allergic to
cats. And then you're saying,
I get an allergy pill.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do about that. But my cats are going to be sleeping in the bed with us. But it was like, I'm allergic to them. And it was like,
then she was like, take an allergy pill.
But then, I don't believe him.
No, I don't think he will lie about that because there are people that are genuinely.
I believe that. I know that there are people allergic. I just don't believe
that his allergy is that excessive.
No, not that he probably isn't even allergic. I can bet you that much.
I believe that he's not that much of a psycho that he.
I really see him as a psycho, honestly, because I was even one of the things I said. Eric just been pissing me off. He has an animated smile. He's been doing things that just. Everything now just been pissing me off about him. But yeah,
let's take it at face. Let's take it at face.
But yeah, she lost me there.
She lost me there.
She did.
And then she was like,
because I was like,
you can train them. You can train them to sleep somewhere else. She's like, you don't train cats. My cats have been sleeping with me for 5 years.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
And then she said, he said if roles were reversed, I would find a way to. That's when she lost me. I was just like, Virginia. The only kitty cat Eric wants in that bed is the one attached to you. He don't want no other cat. He don't want no other cat. Like seriously. Yeah. So yeah, did you see when during the game and they said which partners double jointed? It was Virginia and Eric didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what kind of sex have y'all been having that you don't even remember that your wife is double jointed?
That's weird. Yeah, so but yeah, they were not really good at that game, which actually just shows the state of their marriage, right? They don't do a lot of talking, as we've said in the past episode. Yeah. They sweep a lot of things under the carpet, and all of those issues now. They're trying to have a lot of hard conversation. Even the experiment is short enough. Now they're trying to have a lot of hard conversation in like 3 days and make decisions bang, 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 bang. So now it's
and you know the interesting thing is that Virginia is very observant. She's so observant that they never actually resolve anything.
She really is.
I just feel like with the cat situation, she's just being intentionally defiant.
Right.
I think she's just like, like Jake, I said what I said. Yeah. That was it for Eric and Virginia. Did you have anything else?
No, I didn't have anything else. They should not make it, but I have a very strong inclination that they are gonna make it because delusion will run for a while.
But whether
Just myself.
they go the distance will be. But you know what's so interesting? One last comment about them is when they are good, they are really, really good. Like I love them when they are good.
I just
their
remembered.
attraction, everything is amazing.
Was it Cliff said that? Sorry, someone said that Eric and Virginia, they are in a strong infatuation with each other.
Yeah,
someone made that statement.
I think it was Clara.
I think it was Clara that made it, and that made that statement. And I thought, wow, okay, yeah. And it was like, what brought that back to my memory right now is the fact that you said when they're good, they're really good, and that's infatuation, right? When you're good, you're really good. But you
just
can also
stand remember that lyric in the song? When we're good, we're really good, but when we're bad, we're effing awful. That's literally that song is literally Eric and Virginia, Eminem featuring Rihanna. That's I love the way you lie. That's literally that. Eric and
when
Virginia.
They're bad, they're really bad, and they unravel. They're toxic. They're really bad.
All right, moving along. Ryan and Clara.
Ryan and Clara. They came late to the retreat. I thought Clara looked so good in this episode. I don't know. There was something about There's something about her face. I was like, okay, you look so cute. I'm always looking for
me. I feel like Clara has lost herself. She has lost herself.
Which is why
she
I
made
say
a statement.
She seems very malleable.
Yeah, I feel like that bubbly, talkative, outgoing person.
I can't even remember that person, and I've forgotten that was.
And I feel like she's walking around with this mask, this facade on her face of everything is fine, everything's fine. When she had the conversation with the girls, she said, "Do people keep asking you if you've lost yourself?" Apparently, she gets that question 20 times a day. Producers, people are asking her, do you feel like you've lost yourself? Do you feel like you lost yourself? Brianna was like, I've only gotten it once. But then Clara was like, I've gotten that 20 times a day. And I'm like, that's a sign, Clara. That's a sign. Like when.
But then, so the thing with Clara is, she probably didn't lose herself. She probably never even knew herself. Because she might have been someone that has been conforming to a lot of relationship before. In her last relationship, she came out bubbly. And then when she came to this process, the girl they saw on the camera, every producer was like, ooh, ha, 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 ha. And then she met Ryan. Whereas if you knew her like 5 years ago, maybe she wasn't even that bubbly. You know what I mean? Because there was something I noticed about her early on that she doesn't seem to know herself. She just kind of like moves to everything that she's in.
I made a point. I said, I feel like Clara is trying to convince herself that Ryan is good for her just because he doesn't fall into that typical jerk category that she's used to
just
dating.
because someone is good doesn't mean they're good for you.
Are you?
God,
oh my God. Are you actually, just because somebody is good doesn't mean they are good for you. That's what I wrote. And that's exactly what it is with Ryan and Clara. Ryan is a good guy, quote unquote. Doesn't mean that he's good for Clara.
Yeah, it doesn't mean.
Do you understand? Like when somebody is inhibiting you, it's not really bringing out the best in you. That relationship.
But then,
just based on what I see on camera.
Then, how can we truly say it's not bringing out the best in her though? Do you know what I mean? She hasn't fallen off the wagon. She hasn't done anything wrong.
Like I said, I feel like she's lost herself.
Was that last self being productive though?
No, but the inability to speak her truth and stuff. Like she feels like she has to bite her tongue around him. She doesn't tell him genuinely how she feels. I'm sorry, you can't be honest.
To be honest with this too, my own thought is I don't feel like we're getting the real them on camera. Both of them, not even just Clara. I don't feel like I feel like they're actors to me at this point.
Yeah. I don't feel like I know them.
I don't feel like I know them. So I just hope that maybe behind the cameras they're having this conversation. Because I think it doesn't know how to be in front of the camera.
Whatever it is, they're not translating well.
They're not. The thing I noticed that honestly, I forget about this too, and I don't understand them. Like I can't really genuinely give a review of them because I feel like I'm making a lot of assumptions, right?
The reason why I feel like there's not that much going on, even though there might be some element going on, it's just because on camera, what she says on camera doesn't sound to me like things are going on.
Yeah, but then you know that also the producers need a script for them, right?
Yeah, maybe they
because honestly I could not. You what you're saying, I agree with it, but then I feel like even when we consider that side, then how is she in love? Like there's always negative factors however you look at it, right? Like,
but then the interesting thing is that
last week he was gay to me. This week I don't even know if I feel like he's gay anymore. I don't know.
That's the thing. If you throughout this review, our review, you will notice that our opinion on Ryan and Clara always fluctuates. Whereas with the other couples,
we stay like we know what we're saying.
But with them, it's like
I don't know. Like I honestly, I was looking at it and I was like, I just don't get this too. Guys, sorry. I'm just gonna give a spoiler. Because we saw that the boy house.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They were trying to be for a house together. And I was like, they're still together. Which is, I thought that they would be together till decision day, right? Like they would do this decision day and then maybe they'll go dissolve from there. But to hear that they're proactively like trying to buy a house together. That's a big commitment. Yeah. And I feel like Ryan is such a thinker and self-reserved person that he would not do that unless there's a foundation for it. There's a basis for that decision making, right? So this couple, I'm getting a bit of Miles and Karen vibes from them where you don't really understand these people on camera, and I'm hoping that after the season is done, we're able to get an insight and we're able to hear more.
Well, her biggest bone of contention is that she wants to hear "I'm in love with you."
Yeah, she has moved from
sex to
I want to hear "I'm in love with you."
On that "I'm in love with you." When they did their letters, her letter, oh my god, she literally poured out her
But his letter was not from last week though. His letter this week was last week's letter was someone wrote this letter for him because May after last week's letter like obviously you can't write this. You cannot write this letter by yourself.
His letter was okay, but her letter was just my god. Yeah. It was the things of movies. Just think of like any romantic love, how when Harry met Sally
when he wrote the May. I think what made that cry was when he wrote Love Ryan.
She was like, it's good to know that my feelings are being reciprocated.
No,
I was like, where?
No.
He didn't say I love you. He said love Ryan. He signed
right now all the time.
Even to my colleagues, when I send my colleagues a card or whatever, I sign it love. I'm not in love with you though. I don't love you. I mean, I love you with the love of Christ, but
that's about it. Yeah, but she
was like
that, and that little bit, it was like someone like, you know when you give like a mouse a little cheese and like.
She doubled it up. She was like, it's so good. Even though he's not going to say it directly, it's so good to know that my feelings are being reciprocated.
She was crying.
I was just like,
she was crying. And Claire must have suffered in the street. The street must have showed that get Pepe.
I think so.
The street must have. That's why the way she is clinging to this image that she's created in her head. It's like, girl, I know the street be wicked. Trust me, sis. I be knowing these things, but still, like, I know when someone is good, it doesn't mean that, like, I gotta make it work or make it happen. You still gotta listen to how you feel.
She reminds me of Paige in a way, in the sense that no matter what,
you could put it right in front of them and be like, oh, this rat.
It's just fortunately for her, it's just that Ryan is not a bad guy like this. I see her going down the same route that Paige went down with Chris. And
that was
right.
Megan,
I
there was one point, I don't know where you saw it. I don't know whether you saw it, whether they were on the bed before the bar. But oh my god, we've been saying the same thing. We've been saying
Ryan's badonkadonk.
I don't even have that.
I was like, what? Some of that. Where was I when you were giving that routine?
It's like, guys, no.
It's
that scene.
It's a beef.
He got that from the bed. The scene was like,
no, his butt
is big.
When I say, just imagine like Beyonce's butt. That's what he reminds me of. The BBL,
it was like the
circle on a man's butt, like on a man's
this.
Like that. Their cheeks were perked.
Ryan, write me an exercise regimen. I don't know what you doing to get that part.
Yeah, I need that exercise. All right, Brianna and Vincent.
I don't got much to say.
Brianna, let this man sleep. He's on vacation. Let him sleep. Which one is it that you're always disturbing? Disturbing his sleep. Let him sleep.
I'm tired of Vinny's need to be perfect all the time in situations that are unknown to both of you. Let leave. Like, just.
I will say this. So their biggest issue this episode was she had organized a horse riding for them on the beach, and Vinny has a fear of horses. Well, so he says, but and like he didn't want to do it. Like he shut down. He was just like, I'm not gonna do it. The horse is huge. I have this fear that I've seen people get thrown off a horse and get injured and blah 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 blah. After much coaxing from the instructor was like, 10-year-olds and grannies do this. It's perfectly safe.
They literally had to like coax him.
Yeah. He did it.
I'm sure it must have been the police that kept going back.
Yeah.
They don't show us that.
But what I will say is I feel like there has to be a balance, right? I feel like Brianna was choosing things that she liked, because she did say that I wanted to do it. Okay. I don't think she was choosing activities that they together would like. Because to be honest, I understand that you can be fearful and it's valid to have fears. Like, I wouldn't want somebody to, imagine, I wouldn't want Timmy to organize.
But you're talking about that from like now you're married, right? And you understand that concept of compromise. Yes, they are married, but this is also like you're dating. I look at this and I look at the time when someone like Greg ate roaches for deodorant.
No. There's something.
Do you understand what I mean?
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
That's
there.
way out of the league for Diona and Greg, right? For Greg to have gone out of the league for him.
But there are just certain things that, like, for instance, I'm not a roller coaster person.
Okay.
I'm afraid of heights.
Right.
And I wouldn't want my husband to organize bungee jumping or skydiving. Like, I would shut down. I wouldn't do it.
Right.
I wouldn't do it.
Alero, I'm not talking about, I agree with you. Like, things like that are a bit extreme to me, because I'm like, why are you playing Russian roulette with your life? Like, God has given you life. Go and leave it. Like, I understand that. But it's us back riding. She didn't choose the most extreme of things, right? And you have to also imagine that those people, the producer must have given them a variety of activities. There would have just been a limited amount of activities you could do at that location, right?
So I
agree. The thing she chose is not that ridiculous. I'm saying this off of the base of his reaction to just dancing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He has this habit.
I agree with you.
He has this habit of making a whole molehill out of things, right?
The reason why I said what I said is because
I wouldn't want to do. When she talks about skydiving and
she seems like the kind of person that will do extreme things.
Yes, she does.
She wants somebody that can match her pace, and that just isn't Vincent. When she even talked about swimming with the sharks, he was like, "I'm not good."
Man, he's been telling her things they ain't gonna do.
He's like, "I ain't doing that." For me, I just don't like his attitude when he doesn't like something. Like, he shuts down and he just starts being a douchebag.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like
he did tell her. Yeah, he did tell her later on, I don't like surprises.
Yeah.
I want us to discuss if we're gonna do things. So I feel like those are the kind of things. The more she gets to know him, she'll realize, okay, there's certain things that he doesn't like.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this is still gonna be a big issue for
It's gonna be a bone of
because he's not adventurous, guys. This guy
and she wants an adventurous person. She said
she needs it, and that's why I said that she was actually looking for companion in terms of like someone to go do all these things.
That's why she don't want a baby. She wants to be jumping off cliffs.
Yeah, and if she dies, who's gonna look after the kids? Whereas it's thinking, I got kids at home.
Kilimanjaro,
and it's like I don't want to do that. And
he's a homebody. And she is an extrovert. I just want Vinny to be open to new things. At the same time, I'm not
saying risk your life.
I don't want Brianna to overdo it and know that, okay, this person is just being introduced to adventure life. Let me take it easy with him.
Compromise, that's what I mean. Compromise.
Disclaimer, sorry, we forgot to say this at the beginning of this episode and last week. The reason why we haven't been talking about Chris and Paige is because they're no longer featuring.
Oh, wait.
Just in case, like, you were wondering, we're still there.
We just gave up.
They're no longer featuring.
They're not featuring.
Until Decision Day.
Until Decision Day, we'll be back with
We'll be back with them.
And that tea should be good. Okay.
Like, I just want to Paige's head. Just it.
But it's gonna be a mess decision day. I can't wait to actually film that episode.
Yeah,
it's gonna be real good. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoy our banters and our, whatever we be talking about. And catch you next week. Stay fun. Stay blessed.
Bye. Bye.